Welcome to the Order of Furman Theatre and Furman University Theater's production of the New Works Festival, sponsored in part by the Furman Humanities Center. At this time, we ask that you please silence all cell phones. Please refrain from the use of photography and audio or visual recording at any time during the production. In the event of an emergency, please remain calm and listen for instructions from our house staff. In order to ensure performer and patron safety, audience members are asked to wear masks or face coverings at all times during the performance, intermission, and talkback. Please take a moment of reflection to acknowledge the ancestral land of the Cherokee people on which Furman University sits. It is with gratitude that we honor the land and the people who have stewarded it through many generations, and we challenge you to learn from their wisdom. Thank you for joining us. And now, the Student, Faculty, Alumni, and Guest Artist New Works Festival.
Congratulations, written by Imani-Grace Kane. Jamie, Reed, Paige, Juliet, and Erica all huddle around a table covered in desserts, drinks, and small party favors, labeled with congratulations, engagement, and Miss Fiancé. They are making sure everything is perfect, photo ready. Everyone is pleasantly pretty in their night out attire. Jamie asserts herself to Reed, who is arranging the cupcakes.
Can you make sure the cupcakes are arranged in a V shape for, like, Veronica?
Paige downs yet another vodka tonic.
Oh, we were thinking for virginity.
Oh, yeah, sure. That makes sense. I just want to make sure when it's posted on Instagram it doesn't look uneven. You know what I mean?
Erica, sulking but trying her very hardest not to, starts speaking aloud, not really to anyone.
Engagements are so fun! I do wish more men were at engagement parties, though. Like, there are just so many skirts here.
Juliet chimes in. She's on edge but trying hard to be pleasant. She ascertains the table.
Do you think we brought enough? I feel like we might have not brought enough. The table has some empty space, which makes me think we need more, you know? I'm not sure we brought enough. Perhaps I can order one more appetizer? Yeah, I just want to make sure that we brought enough.
Juliet tries to take a picture with her phone. It's just not like what she expected.
I mean, this was everything I could get with the Venmos I received from this little stingy bunch. Oh, it's not every day we get to celebrate our friend finding the love of their life. Actually, as we approach our mid-20s, it's truly starting to feel like every day. Honestly, now that I'm single, I'm seeing that there's just so much out there. And having time to yourself is actually where you find your power. Brian couldn't handle all this power. I'm really better off. I'm really meditating now, and I've got 3 houseplants, so.
Paige drinks more. She checks her phone.
What time is she getting here again? Do I have to pay?
I'm sure you do. I would just make sure you're here for the boomerang surprise that I want to get. Maybe not now. Like, maybe just wait till she gets here. I think that would be good. Actually, could you just hold on? Just so when she comes in, you can show her these, and some Erica will eat them. So amazing. So glad you're here.
Jamie goes to tend to the cupcakes that aren't going anywhere.
I have to pee though. Seriously.
Just hold it.
Fine.
I just feel like Brian is seeing another girl. You know, the girl with the nose ring who just can't stop posting about how much she loves those toddlers in Ghana. That girl. I think he's dating her to keep himself distracted. And I know it sounds terrible, but to make me jealous. It's actually pathetic.
Maybe silly jealousy can make you do things that you can only process later in life.
Reed realizes how good that is.
Oh, I need to write that one down. I'm gonna post that on Sunday morning. Yep, on a Sunday morning, I'm going to post that. The only people who should feel jealous is us. Veronica is marrying a fucking Nicholas Sparks man.
You hear about his new business? It's mentoring foster kids with art programs.
Like, come on. I know women who would be jealous of those foster kids.
I know women who would try to get into foster care just to be mentored by him.
Did you hear what he did for Veronica and her mom?
He bought them a vacation to Costa Rica for them to enjoy without him. And I can't even get someone to take me to Olive Garden.
Wait, he asked her to scavenger hunt through her favorite restaurants in her hometown. That's just so thoughtful. Yep. yourself so you can be true to others and we seek collective fulfillment? Like, how can you be so tall and handsome yet so deep?
I heard he's writing a book about relationships and empowering your partner.
He does seem empowering.
Veronica told me that he's already looked at homes, like gorgeous townhomes. That is just so... I'm so happy for her!
Remember when he bought us all massages because we had finals that week?
They all nod in agreement, dreamily. Jamie checks her phone.
Oh, she should be here soon, so just everybody get ready. Cameras, ready?
Well, I still have to pee, and I need to take out my tampon, otherwise I'm gonna get that disease no one believes in.
DSS?
Well, that's the people who take away the kids.
Hartness.
No, that's my sister. She's a registered nurse.
And CSS?
That's the computer programming language.
A woman walks up behind them. It's Veronica. They don't even notice.
Do you mean TSS?
There's a swell of excitement, photos, boomerangs.
Have you started planning? We're so excited for you!
I just peed a little because I'm so happy.
You are the hottest couple in the world, and if you ever want to have a throuple, just let me know.
Oh, you have to choose bridesmaids. That's so exciting and stressful. This is all so exciting.
We are so happy for you in this next chapter of life. Oh, were you surprised? Of course you weren't. He's been in love with you since you met.
So where's the ring?
Yeah, the engagement's off.
Holy shit.
Oh, babe. You okay? What happened?
Veronica goes to the tray of champagne glasses. She downs 4 glasses.
Hi, sir. Yeah, hi. Can I get a double gin and tonic? And a pimento cheeseburger with bacon and jalapenos, the side of jalapeno fries and mozzarella sticks. Yeah. And then go ahead and give me that Jack Daniels pecan pie and then give me a shot of Jack Daniels with that pie. Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
B, we're here for you.
Well, thank God, because I'm going to eat and drink until the shock wears off. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Veronica, what happened?
Janie, everyone, I mean this with as much peace and love as I can really muster, but if anyone asks me about this for the next 2 hours, I'm gonna punch you in the throat.
Let's drink!
Everyone leaves the stage. Veronica stumbles back on, disheveled, sad. She sits.
Yeah. So that's why I think I have intimacy issues and a really big fear of circus clowns.
Yeah, Veronica realizes she's talking to herself.
Where'd he go?
She shrugs, finishes her glass. It's all hitting her, the alcohol, the food, the gravity of the day. She doesn't notice Irene, 40s, approach the bar.
Let me get a vodka soda, please.
Hello.
Hello there.
You smell like rose petals.
It's a new fragrance.
You smell like a wedding day.
That is wonderfully specific.
You're like an angel or something.
I wouldn't go that far. You haven't heard me sing. I feel like all angels can sing, that they wear vintage t-shirts, really cool blazers, and they're so badass that they drop F-bombs.
I'm fighting the urge to hug you right now.
It's nice. Are you all right?
Irene asks so intentionally it catches Veronica off guard.
Yeah, everything is perfectly right. I don't know that I trust the use of the word perfect. Why not?
Well, some moments are definitely perfect. One time I had these charred scallop risotto with Brussels sprouts drizzled in goodness. That was perfect.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Or like the way you go see a film and you're meant to see it just at that time, like that exact time in your life. That's perfect. Or like a baby smile. That is perfect.
Yeah. Or reading a good poem with the smell of rain.
Or the repulsive yet endearing smell of puppy breath.
Warm, fresh linens after you've been away from home for a while. In your bed.
First 3 sips of ice-cold beer at a sporting event.
When you actually get like a gift for your sibling or your mom that they actually like.
Playing a favorite childhood game as an adult with your favorite people.
Finally getting to take a poop in peace.
You win. You win.
What would you say to someone who ended their engagement randomly, and all of your family and friends and people on social media who don't jack shit about your life were really, really happy for you?
I'd say that people don't think about you as much as you think they do. And when they do, it's really more about them.
You think?
I know.
I ended my engagement today.
Would you like me to ask you why? Why'd you end your engagement today?
He called me his little bunny.
That bastard!
No. It was the way he said it and when he said it. After I accomplished something really great, or when I had a perspective that he didn't share, he would say, oh, little bunny.
That little tone?
Yeah, with that tone. Like, oh, look at you thinking. And then he would randomly decide to take me somewhere tropical and beautiful and clear my schedule for me. And I know that sounds bad to complain about, but it's.
Wait, without asking you?
Yeah. Decided I needed a break, or that I needed to get away. And you know, once he actually gave me homework. He gave me these books and said, these are the books that made me who I am. You should give them a read. That was after I got into law school.
Books.
Yeah, books. And then when I get upset, I start to think I'm crazy, like batshit crazy. And when I talked about it, he would say, oh, what about the massages I got for you and your friends? And then I would feel so stupid and ungrateful and childish.
You know you can't massage out hurt feelings.
You cannot. You can't massage out hurt feelings. You're right. And when he proposed to me in my hometown, the place I feel the most safest, where I feel most like myself, and he planned every second, every minute, and told me what to eat, and told me what to wear, and who I could see.
He sounds like a better travel agent than Hartness.
Yeah. who I'm with, how much I spend. But no one hears this. No one hears me when I say this. All they can do is point to something that he got me, or how cherished he is, or his fucking motivational tweets. I'm probably being dramatic. I know.
I think you and I have different definitions of dramatic.
When I told him I didn't want to be engaged, he calmly just said, "Give it a week. You're tired, little bunny."
Well, I no longer approve of little bunnies after hearing this.
Yeah.
You can't ignore your knowing. We try to move heaven and hell to make it work. But sometimes you just can't anymore.
I mean, I feel like I've done made the worst mistake of my life. But I feel like I've also done the bravest.
And that is when you know what you did was worthwhile.
You know, he knew about me. But did he actually know me? I'm not so sure. He knew I don't like avocados, and that I got a C+ in religion, and that's infuriating because it's God, and why should God be hard? And that I sprained my wrist when I was younger because I was mad at my mom, and that I can't stand the smell of lavender. I hate it. He can get all those things right about me and still not know me. Care over me, but not truly care for me. Love the patterns of me, but not actually love me. And I also can't forget that last Thanksgiving he called me a cunt. Yeah. But at the same time, it's not like he hit me, you know?
Is that the standard? He didn't hit me, ergo he's good for me?
Once you say it like that.
Look, I once had a guy, and I loved him. I would move everything just to be in his orbit. And when he smiled, he had a smile that made you could believe in anything. I would do things just to be good enough for him. But those same things, they were eroding my soul. I didn't feel like that at the time. I just felt like, oh, I'm so in love. Or what I told myself was love. I loved him when he drank. I loved him when he called me fat. I loved him when he tried to make me feel like being small was something I deserved to be. He didn't hit me either. But you don't have to hit someone to do terrible damage.
Where is he now?
Dead. Just joking, he lives in St. Louis now.
Well, good riddance.
What is it that you want?
I don't know. I should be grateful.
Famous last words of any woman just about to speak her truth. What do you want?
What do I want?
Yeah. What do you want? Like, say it out loud. It's the simplest trick, and yet everyone forgets about it.
What do I want?
Veronica chuckles at this random and silly question. Then she realizes she's rarely been asked.
I want this to make me think of people walls. I want someone to know my schedule and then say, oh, we can't do that day because you'll be busy. I know your schedule. I want that moment, that warm moment after a goofy fit of laughter. I want the quick glance of, are you okay with that? And guess what? And you'll never guess what I just saw. I want to be surprised because I didn't think actually they remembered that thing I said when I was washing my face that morning. I want to watch someone brush their teeth. I want to listen to someone hum their favorite song to themselves. I want to know exactly how they like their tea. I want to cry at different parts of the movie that neither of us have seen before. I want whispers of let's get out of here. and don't forget your sweater. I know how you get cold. You know? I want to feel someone behind me as I reach for flower in the pantry. I want to fold someone's sweatshirt and watch them wear that sweatshirt. I want to know what that person's voice is when they first wake up. And I want to point to them from afar and say, gosh, look at them. You know? And I want someone from afar to point to me and say, gosh, look at her. Yeah. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I want it with the right person.
Irene grabs her hand.
And you, just like every other soul on this planet, deserve just that. You deserve to be seen, you deserve to be heard, you deserve to be valued, and to hell with anyone who doubts that, or calls you his fucking little bunny.
End of scene.
Upward and Over the Mountain, a play by Jason Roberts. Scene 1. Dylan wakes up in his childhood home, where he's been staying for 3 months with his mother. He gets out of bed and gets dressed. He checks his phone. He puts on deodorant. He leaves his room and enters the kitchen where his mother, Patty, is sitting at the table with a cup of coffee and a newspaper. A birdcage sits upstage at the table.
Good morning. Coffee on the pod.
Thanks, Mom. You're a lifesaver.
Dylan goes to get a cup of coffee, kissing Patty on the cheek as he passes her.
Anything good in there?
The usual. Corruption, crappy economy. Nothing of note, really. How are you feeling?
Fine.
Fine, or I need to worry about you fine.
No need to worry. I actually feel fine. Good, even.
Did you sleep well?
Like a rock. You?
Oh, fine.
Fine, and you need more Ambien fine.
Watch it. But if you must know, I haven't been sleeping all that well for a few days now.
Is something wrong?
I don't really know. I just have had this feeling every time I lay down that I've forgotten something. Then I stay up trying to figure out what it is.
That's frustrating.
If I'm being honest, I haven't slept all the way through the night since, well, for a while.
Gotcha.
Did you say Ambien?
What?
A second ago you made a joke about Ambien.
Oh, yeah, you'll have to forgive my smart-ass nature. Genetics, I guess.
You're not taking sleeping pills, are you?
No, Jesus, Mom, no. No pills, no booze, no razor.
Dylan!
No contraband whatsoever. What? I knew that was going to be your next question.
It wasn't.
I told you I'm fine. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay, I was just checking in.
I know. I really am doing well. I promise.
Okay, point taken.
Coffee is solid today. Better than yesterday's.
Well, I'm figuring it out. That measuring scoop is a liar, I think.
They usually are.
I think I've gotten better at eyeballing it, though.
I'd say so.
Maybe one of these days you'll wake up first and make your own.
You know, I never asked you to make me coffee every morning.
Yeah, I prefer not to deal with you grouchy, though.
Fair enough, I guess. But I can make it if you want.
No, I don't mind. Makes me feel useful in the morning. Buying your love with coffee is cheap, but I'm not above it.
You know what? I'll take it.
I just want to make sure you're comfortable while you're living here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I figure you've been through a lot, so the least I can do is learn to make coffee the way you like it.
Well, thanks. Is there anything you need help with? It's a two-way street, you know.
Well, if you're offering, can you take the trash out?
Yeah, sure.
Dylan goes to take out the trash.
Can you leave the paper on the table? I want to look at the job ads.
Oh, sure.
While Dylan is outside, Patty turns to the back of the paper and inspects the job ads.
Not sure there's anything in here that would be good for you.
Dylan re-enters.
Well, I'd still like to look through them.
Dog walker? You probably don't want to be on your feet all day.
I'll just come get it later.
Marketing intern? You'd go crazy in an office job. Grocery bagger?
All right. Jesus, Mom, forget it. I'll just look online.
Dylan!
Sorry. Just forget it.
What's with the sudden rush to get a job anyway?
Can we just drop it?
Your job right now is resting up and getting back to a healthy lifestyle.
And you don't think having a job is part of that?
Besides, you don't need a job right now. You're perfectly taken care of here.
Yeah, but I'll need a job so I can afford rent when I get my own place.
You know you can stay here until you're ready to move out again.
I'm not going to stay here forever, Mom. You know that, right?
What? Yes, obviously I know that. Just until you're ready.
Which may be sooner than later.
Yes, I understand.
I'm gonna go take a shower.
Oh, while you're out, can you feed Benedict?
I don't know why you got this stupid bird if you were never gonna feed it.
He can hear you, you know. And he keeps me company. And I do feed him. You were just already up.
If you say so.
Dylan feeds the bird, delicately opening the cage to put the birdseed inside. He exits. Patty stands and walks to the bird cage.
He didn't mean that. He will learn to appreciate you. Just give him time. And you'll learn to appreciate him too. I promise.
Blackout. Scene 2. The middle of the night. Dylan enters the kitchen from his bedroom and opens the fridge. He pulls a snack out. And as he does, he knocks over a bottle of ketchup in the fridge, which causes it to drop with a loud thud. This wakes up Benedict, who squawks loudly.
Shut up! It wasn't that loud.
Dylan picks up the bottle and replaces it in the fridge before going to sit at the table. As he does, Patty enters from the other room, holding a baseball bat.
Thank God it's just you.
Who do you think it was?
I don't know. It could have been someone breaking in.
And you were going to bludgeon them?
It's just a precaution. Really more to scare someone off if need be.
They say if you have a weapon, you should be willing to use it. I assume the same principle applies to sporting equipment?
Well, having it makes me feel safer. I've kept it under your bed since your father...
Ah, right. Well, I'm glad it makes you feel safer. Sorry I woke you. I'll keep it down in here.
That's fine. I'm up now. The adrenaline of thinking I was being robbed will probably keep me up until morning anyway.
What? Would a robber take from here anyway? We're not exactly affluent.
That doesn't mean we can't get robbed. We have nice things.
Like what?
Well, the TV.
He's 10 years old.
Your father's old guitars.
He sold all of the ones that were worth anything.
Well, there's Benedict.
Why would someone steal a bird?
Not that they would steal him, but he's valuable is all I'm saying. Maybe not monetary value, but the intrinsic value of a living thing.
Why do I feel like this is turning into a lecture?
Not a lecture. I'm just saying that life has value of its own accord.
You eat living things. That's not intrinsic value, that's valuable to you because you are using it. Exploiting it, some might say.
That's not the same thing.
Do you think chickens have intrinsic value?
I'm talking about a pet, not poultry.
How about cows? They say that humans are most sympathetic towards large mammals, but we eat cows all the time.
I don't know who they are, but I would wager that has something to do with the fact that most people don't actually have to slaughter their dinner.
But what's the difference between Benedict and a cow that someone else has to slaughter for you to eat? Why is one's life more valuable than the other?
Benedict is not a fucking cow! And neither are you.
I wasn't talking about me. I was just talking about burgers.
It's different when it's something you love.
I know. I'm sorry, I was just being a contrarian.
Benedict is one thing, but I promise you, your life is even more valuable than his to me.
That isn't the conversation we were having.
Maybe it's one we should be having, though.
Oh, it's 3 a.m. I don't think it's the time for philosophical bullshit.
You started this conversation. Watch your language, by the way.
Okay, fine. Make your case then. What makes you say that life is valuable?
Because without it, we are nothing.
And with it, we just automatically hold value?
I think so. It lets us breathe and communicate and experience. What is the point without that?
What's the point with that?
Well, I think that everyone has their own purpose, but those things let us find that purpose.
What's your purpose then?
That is a loaded question.
Loaded questions are the whole point of philosophical conversations.
I think that my purpose is to spread love and to be a mother.
That contradicts your whole argument then.
How so?
If that's your purpose, then your value is completely dependent on others. If there's no one else around, you can't spread love. If I'm not here, you aren't a mother. Where's the intrinsic value?
Did I say that purpose and value are the same things?
I don't see how they can be separated. If someone has no purpose, where is their value?
They are alive, Dylan. I don't have the words to explain it, but they are alive, and that's all that matters. Life has value. Even if you can't see it, the people around you can see the value in your life.
Are we talking about me again?
Yes, we are. You have value. I don't care if you can't see it, but I can.
Well, for the record, I was being hypothetical. I know my life has value. You kind of figure that out when you almost die. Purpose, on the other hand, I'm not so sure.
Well, what do you want your purpose to be?
That's not exactly something I can just choose.
Says who?
Well, I don't know. There's things I want to do, but I don't think they're my purpose.
Maybe not, but they could be a start. What are they?
I mean, I want to travel, see what's out there, I guess.
Well, you'll have plenty of time for that. You're still young.
Sure, but I think now might be the best time for those things.
Are you sure you're ready for big life changes? The doctor said...
The doctor said to keep taking my meds and to keep meeting with my therapist, which I've been doing. He didn't say to live with you forever.
I didn't say anything about forever.
Yeah, but that's what you want, right?
No, Dylan, that's not what I want. I just want to make sure that you are in a good place when you move back out.
I have to start providing for myself. I feel so fucking trapped here. And I know that's not what you're going for, but I feel like I'm wasting my life. A life that I finally realize is worth living, so let me live it. Please.
I'm sorry if I've made you feel trapped, but you have to understand that I'm trying to protect you. I'm not stopping you from living your life.
Protecting me from what?
You know what I mean? From all the shit out there.
No. I want you to say it. What are you really trying to protect me from?
From yourself, Dylan.
Well, I'm not planning on trying to off myself again anytime soon, if that's what you're worried about.
Dylan!
What? That's what you were talking about, right? Let's get it out in the open. Maybe you think if I go out on my own, I'll try again. Maybe even get it right this time.
Get it right?
You know what I mean?
No, I don't. And that is precisely why I am still worried about you. Because you talk about it like you don't understand the gravity of what happened.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I am in the unique position of knowing more about the gravity of it than anyone else. I'm the one who was in the hospital.
And I'm the one who had to wait powerlessly for the doctor to tell me if you were going to make it. I'm the one who seems to care more than you, whether or not you live.
And you think me being here makes that better?
When you're here, I can at least see you and know that you're okay.
It doesn't make any difference where I am. It's my life to live, not yours.
That doesn't mean you have to live it on your own. I can still help you.
Maybe the help I need from you is to let me be alone. So I can figure this stuff out for myself.
You're not ready for that.
How can you know that?
Because I'm your mother. I know you better than anyone else.
You know me better than I know myself?
Maybe I do.
That's not possible.
But I know I can trust myself. I can't be so sure about you. I don't know that you aren't lying to me. Or lying to yourself.
Well, that can go both ways, Mom. How do I know you're being 100% honest with me?
Excuse me?
You keep saying you want me to stay because I'm not okay. How do I know it's not just because you're scared to be alone again?
Don't!
I know. It's been hard since Dad left. And I'm sure I didn't make it any easier, but you'll have to let me go eventually. And him, for that matter.
Yes, I know that. I'm not keeping you against your will, you know. I just want you to be ready when you move out. Besides, I'll have Benedict keep me company.
Again with the stupid fucking bird.
Language!
Sorry. Again with the fucking bird.
You know what? That bird makes me happy, so you can just deal with it.
Well, I guess that's something else I need to work on.
Something else? What's the first thing?
Not being so defensive. I know what happened, and as much as I would like to, there's no way for me to explain it to you or anyone else. There's no point in me trying to defend my actions because I just can't. Not even for myself.
I don't need you to defend them. I don't want you to defend them. I just want you to understand how that affected me and how that affected you.
I'm living with the effect it had on me. Probably will be for the rest of my life.
Just because you're living with it doesn't mean you understand it.
Yeah. You got that right.
I'm sorry I worry so much, but can you at least see why?
Yes. I'm worried too.
Then why the rush to get out and make it on your own?
Because I have to know that I can.
But what if you can't?
I don't know. I guess I'd come back.
So what? We get stuck in a cycle of you leaving and coming back?
It doesn't have to be like that. I could just stay gone.
Or you could stay here.
And we're back here again.
All I'm
Talking
saying,
about cycles.
all I'm saying is I want you to consider staying here until you are fully ready to leave.
Okay. I understand. I don't think that this is something anyone can ever be sure of, but I understand.
I guess that's a start.
Well, I just came down for a snack, so I think I'm gonna head to bed. Good night.
Good night, Dylan. I love you.
I love you too.
Dylan exits. After he is gone, Hattie begins to silently weep at the table. Benedict squawks. Blackout. Scene 3. The next night. Dylan sits at the table. He seems to be waiting patiently, not agitated. Hattie enters, clearly intoxicated. She has had a long night out. Dylan looks up and the two make eye contact.
Looks like you had fun tonight.
Yes, I did. Is there anything wrong with that?
Nope. Not an accusation, just an observation.
We were celebrating. Sherry got engaged again.
How many times is that now?
You know what they say, 4th time's a charm.
Well, total one sticks. Anyway, I was just making sure you got home safe. I'm headed to bed. Do you need anything before I go?
How about a nightcap? Want to share one more drink with me?
Mom, you know I don't drink anymore.
Oh, shit, Dylan. I'm sorry. I know that. Will you dance with me?
What?
Come on, when you were younger, you used to dance with me all the time. I'd spin you around the kitchen. You loved it.
Yeah, because I was like 7. It's really late, I should...
Dylan is interrupted by the radio that Patty has turned on. The radio plays, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys.
Oh, I love this song. Just one minute.
Love in their heart.
Okay, fine. Whatever makes you happy.
The two start to dance. Pretty badly. Not quite on the beat. It's a nice moment that they both find calming and pleasant. As much as Dylan denies it, he always liked dancing with his mom. While they dance,
I'm glad you're not a cowboy.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that's not a career option anymore.
Oh, hush, you know what I mean.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad you're not a cowboy either.
No, I could have been if I wanted to.
Is that so?
Surely is. Before you were born, your father wanted to buy a ranch in Oklahoma and be real-life cowboys.
Why didn't he?
Because I told him I wouldn't marry him if he did. I knew he'd get tired of it and move on. It would have been a waste of money.
Maybe that stability would have been good for him.
as the song ends, the two sit down at the table.
Oh no, there's nothing stable about him.
Well, I guess you knew him better than I ever did.
I knew him longer, but the more I think about it, I don't think I knew a single thing about him.
He was always pretty hard to read.
I miss him sometimes.
What? Why? He left us with nothing. He was a piece of shit.
I was with him for 16 years. When you're with someone for that long and suddenly you aren't anymore, you miss them, no matter who they are. That's just the way it is.
After everything he put you through, I definitely do not miss him. I'm glad he's not around me.
Oh, don't be so hard-headed. You know, you remind me of him sometimes.
It's not exactly a compliment.
You have his eyes.
So I guess I got my astigmatism from him too.
I'm being serious.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that came from you.
Well, I guess you had two stubborn parents then. Didn't give you much of a chance.
Well, I'd like to think that I turned out all right in spite of that. Besides, well, you know.
Dylan, please don't.
I'm sorry, Mom. I shouldn't have brought it up.
I don't like when you make light of what happened.
What else am I supposed to do? It happened. I'm just trying to move on.
Then why bring it up?
I have to cope somehow. I'd rather not just bottle all of it up.
I don't want you to. I just wish you wouldn't mention it so casually.
I'm the one dealing with it. That's my way of dealing with it. I'm sorry, though. I'll try to be more situationally aware.
You know, there's a part of me that blames myself for what happened.
No, that was in no way your fault.
Well, I'm your mother. I should have been there or known something was wrong.
You had no way of knowing that was my fault. No one else's.
If you had been here with me, none of that would have happened.
Where I was had nothing to do with it.
Bullshit! I could have protected you.
From myself?
From everything out there.
Don't go all Bates Motel on me, Mom. I'm an adult. I don't need to be sheltered from everything.
Not enough of an adult to understand what your actions would do to the people who love you. Not enough of an adult to realize how much you were hurting me. Not enough of an adult to realize how fucking selfish that was.
Is that what you think it was? My way of lashing out at you and everyone else who pissed me off? What I did had nothing to do with you. It was about me and only me.
Didn't you realize what that would do to me, though?
Yeah, I did. If you want to know the truth, you were the only reason why I waited as long as I did. I couldn't bear to think of what it would do to you. That's why I held off for so many years.
What changed then?
I've been in pain since I was like 12. It was a struggle just to get up and go to school and get through the day. Then I'd come home and hide so I wouldn't have to listen to Dad yelling at you. And then I'd do it again the next day. After a while, you start to get used to the pain. Then I went to college and I finally felt free. I missed you, but I was away from Dad and I could start over a bit. That lasted a little while, but eventually the pain came back, and by the time I graduated and moved out on my own, I was so used to the pain, I was able to pretend it wasn't there. I could deal with the pain and the sorrow and with whatever other shit I was going through, and one day I woke up and they had all left. I felt nothing. That's why I did what I did. I couldn't deal with the nothing.
Dylan, I don't know.
I know. It's okay. And I'm sorry that I put you through that, but as awful as it sounds, I felt like I had no other choice. There was nothing you could have done to stop me.
I don't really know what to
You
say.
don't have to say anything.
How can I know you won't feel that way again?
I guess you can't. You'll just have to trust me. I can promise you that I don't want to go down that road again.
I'm scared if you leave again, you won't come back.
Well, that would be stupid of me. I'd never be able to find a better dancing partner.
Dylan reaches out for Patty's hand and they start to dance again. This time it is I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry.
Love you, Mom. Why don't I always show it, but it's the truth.
I know. And I love you too.
They continue to dance for a moment.
I need to tell you something. I got a job offer.
Really?
Yeah, it's entry level, but I'd be working for a magazine. I could probably move up to staff writer in a year or so.
A writer, huh? That somehow makes a lot of sense for you.
I think I could be really happy with it.
Maybe you found your next step.
I think you're right. The only problem is that it's in Boulder.
Colorado?
Yeah. I know it's far.
Are you going to take it?
I'm not sure yet. I wanted to run it by you first.
That's not my decision to make, I'm afraid.
If you want me to stay, I will.
Dylan, that's a choice you have to make for yourself. If you go off that far on your own, do you think you'll be okay?
To be honest, I don't really know. Probably, maybe not. I just have this feeling that I have to do it, though.
Well, it sounds like you know the answer.
But what if I'm not really ready?
You are. I can tell. And if that changes, you'll always have a place here with me.
I think I just need to sleep on it.
It's late. We probably both should get some sleep. Good night.
Good night, Mom. I love you.
I love you too, Dylan.
They both exit. Blackout. Epilogue. Patty enters the kitchen and starts to make coffee. She looks around.
Dylan!
She continues with the coffee.
Dylan?
She finishes and walks over to the table where she finds a note. She reads it. After a moment, she sits and smiles softly. After another moment, she walks up to the bird cage and opens it. She pulls Benedict out. He squawks at her.
I know, but you don't need me anymore. I'll be okay. I'll learn how to be alone again.
Benedict squawks again.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you too. But it's time.
Patty walks to the window and lets Benedict out. He flies away. She comes back to sit at the table. Blackout. End of play.
Barrel, or For the Love of God, by Anna Bowman. Setting, a Southern liberal arts college. Character breakdown. Sarah, a young woman who is freaking the fuck out. Once saw all her worth in a mediocre man. Struggles with self-esteem, a volcano on the brink of destruction. Dean, a mediocre, straight, college Catholic guy. Only prays when people are watching. Paige, a stereotypical, preppy, smart Catholic young woman. Congregation, a group of lethargic Catholic college students. Professor, a professional with good intentions, wears cardigans. Priest, a godly man. Sarah enters and the stage is still dark. She stands facing the audience.
Dear Sarah, I don't really know how to say this, so I decided to write it. Thank you for the last 2 months. You have been a wonderful girlfriend, and I'm grateful for our time together and all that you've taught me. We come from 2 different worlds. You shouldn't have to hide who you are, and I'm sorry if I pressured you into doing so. I think I was hiding who I was too. I think God has been calling me to the priesthood, and I have to hold on to that, meaning I have to let go of you. I think I was trying to distance myself from my vocation, which is why I loved you. You were free of God and religion. What I didn't realize is that I was actually using you to deny myself of my own faith and my calling. You don't deserve that. I know this may come as a surprise, but it's something I've been considering for a long time. I hope you can forgive me. I do wish you every happiness, and I'm here for you if you need anything. I'm praying for you. Dean.
Lights up on Sarah.
Ever been electrocuted? Where you felt everything inside of you start to vibrate, desperate to get out. Where you can scream at the top of your lungs and still not feel in control of the feeling. Honestly, I never knew what rabies might feel like until now. I feel violent. I feel untethered. I've become feral. How can I, an independent, feminist, educated young woman, have my heart broken by a man that thinks brain is spelled the same as grinding? Do I have an ounce of integrity?
Miss Grady, can you explain cheap grace to the class, please?
Yeah, so cheap grace is this ideal often exemplified in Christianity that's this kind of blanket amnesty policy for all who contribute to the church, regardless of how they uphold their beliefs. But in politics, it relates to this idea of false patriotism within the U.S. that we see in relation to the military and yada yada yada. I know we know enough about that, so back to business. Back to Dean. God, I hate that asshole. I gave him the best 2 months. And the second he faces the tiniest bit of adversity, he breaks up with me by joining the priesthood. He didn't even have the balls to talk to me about it in person. So, when I try to talk to him to get some actual closure, he expresses that we decided to mutually break up. Mutually my ass. I don't get it. Did it not mean anything to him? I mean, of course it meant something to me. He meant everything to me. And I don't think it's just because he was my first boyfriend I actually had feelings for, but he wrote me these love letters. He used Google Translate so we could write them in French. And he told me he loved me 2 weeks in. Supposed to think. What was I supposed to feel? I'm realistic and balanced, and the second I fall for him, my life is left in shambles. A friend of mine introduced us at a party. We shared a lot of interests, especially books. He actually understood my attraction to words. Talking and eventually going on late night walks around the campus until one night he called me.
Hey, so I kind of have a crush on you. And I was wondering if you'd like to go out with me sometime.
You know, he has never been able to have a vulnerable conversation with me in my face, but I didn't care. So I accepted this lame invitation. Butterflies in my stomach. How could I know that he'd end our relationship just how it started? In isolation. I was completely consumed by him. In him? This is where it starts to get messy because though my friends originally liked Dean, they did not like the idea of dating Dean. So, he didn't talk to me, set healthy boundaries. They just decided to stop inviting me places, dinners, movie nights, whatever. So I rarely hung out with them. And when I did hang out with them, I didn't think that I could talk about him because I'd watched their little smiles turn to weak frowns of disapproval. So I never gushed or confided in them about my excitement or my brooding fears. So when they'd ask if I was free, I'd say yes, even if I had to cancel plans to do so. And I do regret that, but I felt weird and distant from my people, so I'm so worried that if I didn't spend every waking hour with him, that he'd leave me. He left me anyway.
Sarah? Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great, babe. How are you? I want to die.
Oh, no. Valentine's dinner and dance with Father Richard. Are you planning on coming with anyone special?
Well, I can't make it this year. I have an organic chem test the next morning and I need that night to study.
Aw, that's a shame. There's lots of people going. I don't want you to hear this from me, but Dean is going with that econ major Grace. Apparently they've been, singing together in the sacristy after Mass. I know it's been a hard couple of weeks for you, so I just wanted to let you know.
How could you be with someone else so soon? He told me he was going to practice chastity and prepare for the fucking priesthood! He decides to break his week of celibacy. Fucking Grace! The perfect Catholic pro-life fucking bride-to-be! He hated those girls. That's what he always told me, anyway. He said that he liked me because I challenged his faith and I thought for myself. I'm agnostic, but when I started dating Dean, I started going to Mass, and he told everyone I was Catholic, so I received the Eucharist and everything. I'd fallen so deep and been so lost that I started to consider the idea that the Catholic God was God. Because I thought I saw him in Dean. Well, not anymore, fucker! Kane and the whole Catholic Mass are still under the impression that I'm Catholic. I really don't know how to break it to them, but maybe I don't have to. Maybe Dean has already told them that I'm a raging pro-choice atheist with tentacles for a vagina! At least it would be the first lie he told them about me.
Anyways, I'm in class to go to her husband's funeral tomorrow, and I'd really appreciate it if you kept our family in your prayers.
Yeah, of course. Let me know if there's anything I can do.
Father Richard is offering up tonight's Mass for him. I really hope you can come. I know Dean will be there, but really, it would mean a lot, and you don't have to stay after for small group.
Of course, I wouldn't miss it. What have I done? I can't miss Mass now, I've committed!
Sarah opens a big bottle of barefoot wine and pours a generous glass. It's 3 p.m.
How am I supposed to face Dean? If he's there with Grace, I mean, it's only a matter of time until Paige and the whole Catholic group find out that I'm not Catholic, so maybe I should just call it and end the friendship here. I could always text her right before and say I don't feel well. But she'll know it's bullshit. If I go, I have to be prepared to clever and sharp and really make Dean see how much better I am off without him. Perfectly rehearsed comebacks for conversations we won't have.
Sarah downs the first glass, sighs, and pours a second.
I will go. I will look good as hell, and I'll ignore him unless he speaks to me.
The sound and lights work as one to create a shower. Sarah uses it accordingly.
I'm going to shower and shave and curl my hair, do my makeup for the first time in weeks, and I'll wear my best casual dress, just so it doesn't look like I'm trying too hard. And of course, I'll wear my heels, because they make my legs look great.
Sarah gets out of the shower and applies makeup. The self-awareness sinks in.
What am I doing? I look like a fool.
Sarah pours another glass of wine and gets back in the shower, but this time it is devoid of hope. She starts to cry and break down, but she is still fighting her vulnerability.
How could I let myself get here? How could I lose my friends? Were they my friends? I think they were. I don't care. I used to put everything on the line for them. I was there whenever they needed me. Or I tried to be. What did I do wrong? Did I really deserve that for dating Dean? I tried. Or I feel like I tried. I'm so confused. I let everyone down. I failed them all for
stands and attempts to gather herself, somehow still confident. Sarah lightly pours the remaining wine in her glass into her water bottle.
Just in case I need it during the service. Some of it's had to have worn off by now.
Sarah is on her way to the chapel, walking more put together than one would expect.
Sarah, hey, it's good to see you outside of the lecture hall.
Hi!
I appreciated your addition to the class discussion today. A very insightful interpretation of the reading. I can always count on you to really come to class prepared, which I appreciate.
That means a lot. I really appreciate the articles we've been reading lately.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Sarah, I was wondering, how are you doing? I know it's a busy time of year, and though you consistently do great work in class, I can't help but notice that you seem a bit out of it.
I'm okay. Sorry.
The professor waits for Sarah to continue, but she doesn't.
I see. Well, if you ever need to talk or want to be put in contact with someone, you can always come to me. I know that one's 20s can be a very lonely time, though that never seems to be how it's advertised. Know that it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to be alone. Have a good night, Sarah.
Sarah doesn't really know what to do with this, so she continues to the chapel. She enters as the musicians are warming up. She sits in her pew. Sarah pretends she is reading or writing a very important text message.
Or maybe I want to be alone. Or maybe I just want to talk to someone or God. I don't believe in God.
Sarah kneels.
So, dear God, I don't know how to do this. I'm sorry. I'm not okay. And I need help. Maybe, I'm sorry, just, please, don't let Dean see me like this. Don't let him show up here with his friends, or that girl, or at all. That'd be easiest. Right. Thanks. And, amen.
Sarah sits back on her pew and tries to recover to the best of her ability. The sound of voices starts to build as people trickle in. She gulps from the water bottle. Sarah sings Dean.
And there he is. There's Dean, and God, what a fucking... Of course he's here with Grace. Of course.
Sarah! Oh my gosh, you made it. It's so good to see you here.
Of course she slides in the pew next to me.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? Is there anything I can do?
No, I'm fine. This is just really fucking weird. So maybe don't cuss in a church. Luckily, Paige doesn't point it out this time and just says some comforting bullshit and gives me a side hug. I think she's decided to sit by me for the duration of this, which is, I guess, better than sitting alone, but she loves to sing and she's completely talented, so that's great. Mass starts and we stand up and sing and we do the little cross thing. It smells like incense and I feel exposed and there's absolutely no place to hide unless I resort to crawling into my computer and very well get to a fucking pig beside me.
I confess, my God, and to you, my brothers and sisters, that I have...
You may be seated.
And with your spirit! God damn it.
I have always loved John chapter 5. It really accentuates the power and beauty of priesthood. I know all you college kids must be rolling your eyes, but really there is so much offered for you in the priesthood. I mean, you get to be married to the church. which is one of the many reasons I felt called. I truly loved the church. Now, you might not all be called to the holy orders, and I know that when I was your age.
Sarah is struggling to survive. She tries to focus on something, anything.
Let us pray. Our response is, Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Today's Mass is offered for Page's family as they enter this time of grief. Heal their pain. Dispel the darkness and doubt that comes with grief. May her uncle now be admitted to the company of the saints.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Now the congregation may make their petitions.
People praying for the hungry, for the unborn, for the incarcerated, what
For the
have you.
non-believers, may they come forward for the truth.
He did not listen to me for talking Mass. He said I should just tell everyone Catholic. It would be easier if I just told them that I was Catholic. And now, of course, he fucking decided to bring it up publicly instead of just talking to me like a decent fucking human being. How fucking dare he?
Lord, hear our prayer.
Or the assholes who cheat on their girlfriends and break up with them for no good goddamn reason. For the privileged white men who face one tiny bit of adversity and fold like a fucking metal chair.
Sarah, no! Don't!
Sarah did not realize that she had said this out loud. She thought she was inside her head.
And for your Valentine's Day dates, I hope you have fun fucking cheap grace in the sacristy!
Sarah stumbles towards the old holy water basin at the entrance and savagely vomits. Drop the blackout. End of play.
Thank you everybody for coming to the New Works Festival tonight. We're going to transition now over to the Talkback portion of our evenings. We're going to invite back up the playwrights for the pieces you just saw. Imani-Grace, Kane, Jason Roberts, and Anna Bowman. So my name is Emily Enlow. I'm the president of the Order of Furman Theatre and the co-producer of the New Works Festival. Over here on the TV screen to your left, you can see Quinn, our dramaturg for the New Works Festival. So I'm going to introduce them and then they'll give us some rules of engagement for the Talkback. Georgia. They received their BA in Performing Arts with a minor in Dramatic Writing from Clemson University in May of 2018. They currently serve as Working Title Playwrights Assistant Managing Director. Quinn is also a founding member of The Cultivators, an Atlanta-based new works development organization empowering its member playwrights to create original and impactful works of theater and film. Quinn workshopped their play Death Before Decaf with Furman Theater's new Play Development Lab MAX program in May of 2021, and we're excited to welcome them back as the dramaturg for the New Works Festival.
Thank you all so much for being here and supporting new plays and new work, especially at the university level. So many of these students have put in such really great work just getting these plays up before you, and it's a really great thing. So thank you for coming out to support them. Before we get into our talkback, I'm just going to lay out some rules of engagement. So number one, make sure to raise your hand to speak, and one of us will call on you. Number two, if you agree with something that you hear, or piece of feedback that you hear, you can snap. This gives a sense of how many people in the room are on the same page with that feedback, and it also saves space so that we can hear other points of feedback rather than repeating the same things over and over again. Number three, we want to make sure that we're being constructive and courteous. It takes a lot of courage to put some new work out into the world, and so we want to make sure that all of our feedback can be heard by these playwrights. Number four, we want to avoid using the words like and dislike, these are very subjective, and the playwrights can't really work toward any one person's particular taste. So when we're giving feedback, we want to avoid those words so that they can have a stronger sense of what was resonating with you, what was confusing, things like that. That's more helpful feedback for our audience. Number 5, we want to avoid suggestions for how to rewrite the play. So if you were inspired by something that you saw tonight and you have an idea for how you could make it better, something that you would change or adjust or a direction you would go in, that's fantastic. But I encourage you to go home and write your own play and not try to write these pieces for the playwrights. Ultimately, they are the arbiters of what these plays will become. And so it's in their court to continue editing as we go from here. Number 6, we want to make sure that we're speaking from I, so we can't speak for a collective or speak for everyone's experience. We're always going to speak from our personal experience with the work. And lastly, number 7, we want to make sure that we're being mindful of the potential gap between intention and impact. So something that we say, we might think that we're being helpful, but sometimes the way we say things might potentially be harmful to someone. So we just want to make sure that we're minding the gap there and realizing that not everything we say is going to be received the way we necessarily intended it. With all of that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back over to Emily, who's going to lead the feedback.
All right, so we're going to go through these works in the order that you saw them tonight, starting with Imani-Grace's Congratulations. So Imani-Grace, want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you developed this piece?
Yes, you bet. I'm Imani-Grace Kane. I graduated from Furman in 2019, and I wrote Congratulations because of the first monologue, or the last monologue. That was the starting point, and I made it into a scene because Sarah did this timing. Emily was telling me about this awesome event she was planning, and asked me to join on, and I had the excuse to develop it, which was so great. I love creative excuses, so that was how I got the scene together. And I'm a screenwriter, so not traditionally not playwriting. So this was set as a scene for television, and so it was really, really exciting to see it live and with stage directions. That was like a really fun creative process. So that was about it.
Awesome. So our first question for the audience is, what resonated with you? So those could be images, specific moments, or anything like that.
Yeah. At my high school, it was like a really big thing that we had kind of a section on like healthy relationships and like how to understand abuse can be both physical and emotional. Were you trying to like have more experience to like expose other people to how a good relationship or relationships could vary and like
I think that's a really, really great take on interpretation. I think again there's that bit that's like you don't have to physically hit someone to do really, really intense psychological damage, and damage that can erode their current relationships and their future relationships. You don't have to hit someone to do that. And so, yeah, I would definitely say exposing the nuances of emotional pain and emotional abuse as opposed to physical abuse, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. I love the vision that you had of love, and what love looks like, and what love feels like, and what love smells like. And I think that we all have these visions and versions of what that would be. I found myself thinking about what that would feel like for me, maybe slightly differently than what it would feel like for you, or what I wanted, or what I desired, or what would make me warm. But just giving permission, I think that's the beauty of what you did. You gave permission to think and feel and imagine, especially those of us who are not in a relationship, to imagine what that love would, all the nuances of that, of loving somebody.
Thanks, Mom.
despite what everyone else thinks is like perfect and what a perfect relationship might be. And like just kind of finding that realization moment where you step back and realize that like this might be not be the greatest thing.
Yeah.
I found it interesting that she had 5 friends to comfort her, but she got the knowledge and the wisdom she needed from a random stranger at the bar. I thought that was interesting.
The moment at the end when he grabbed me, it was very like comforting feeling like that in my university. Yeah, that wonderful connection.
So particularly seeing the scene before her after arrived, with all of her friends talking about her and how shallow it was, particularly drove home how others' perceptions of ourselves and our relationships are often not accurate and unfortunately the aesthetic of a relationship versus what is actually happening within it.
Yeah, so what questions are you all left with? Either about specific characters, specific plot points, anything like that?
Did this piece help you sit back and reflect what you really wanted for yourself and what you might want for the future?
Yeah. I'm constantly thinking about what I want. So yes, yeah, I think in the taking power in small specific things that I think we overlook. Like I think grand gestures and proposals and weddings and milestones are great and they're great measurement of love, but sometimes they're maybe not always the most accurate measurement of love. I think sometimes it's those specific moments and those unspoken moments that really are the kind of fabric of intimacy. And so all that to say is I think that's probably what I think about when I think of, well, what's a small thing that I would appreciate? And I guess like, I don't know. Let me stop.
Yeah, and you said you started with the ending first. How did the rest of the piece fall?
So Emily approached me, and Emily and Megan approached me, and then I wrote it for Tracy, so she was my Irene. I've known her for a while, and she's a talent. And I wrote her because she was, I mean, she really, don't be impressed with her acting, everyone. That's her. That's literally her in a nutshell. This amazing person who would be kind and witty to someone else who's drunk at a bar and who would give them life advice at a bar at 3 a.m. Like that is her in a nutshell. So I kind of wrote it with who would lay down some truth in a way that's very approachable and not too moralistic and preachy, and also really great. So essentially, coming back to your point, I wrote it thinking with her in mind shortly after the long run.
Yeah. You mentioned the small ones you appreciate. Were those things you wrote down all at once, or was it more of a process of walking around and thinking, oh, that's something good, I should write that down?
I actually wrote it all at once. Weirdly enough. Yeah, I think I probably added some small ones after, but that monologue I wrote it was all like one of those little creative vomits that you put in your little notepad on your phone at like the CVS. It was like a random moment like that. So yeah, weirdly enough, it was all at once. Not normally how I write them. It takes me like 5 years to write. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Imani-Grace.
Thank you, Emily.
Upward and over the mountain.
Hello, my name is Xavier. I wrote this play because I wanted to explore a mother and son relationship because I think they're really beautiful. There's a lot of nuance in there that isn't always as explored as it could be. And so that was where it started for me, and then the story kind of fell into place after that. But yeah, I wanted to show a really interesting and intimate relationship. So that's where it came from.
So what resonated with you all while watching Upward and Over the Mountain?
Yeah, and like, mother's anxiety and how that affects you.
Yeah, the mother's anxiety. Yeah, and it's a balance between funny moments and very, very serious moments. I think that very nicely. It never felt that things could get too happy. Yeah.
Well, what really stuck out to me was the sarcasm within the conversation that really led to a lot of thinking there's a lot of things unspoken between these two.
Yeah, the balance of a very comfortable and conversational aspect of Dylan and Patty versus dramatic tension was really well done because the moments of tension felt very important.
It's for people that are so close but have such a misunderstanding of each other.
The bird is one.
The bit where Dylan is struggling to explain why he did that himself. And that you could, I think in that moment, you could see how much he's grappling in the consequences of doing something so massive. And I think it's kind of coping with the guilt that he had, that he put his mom through it, and the guilt that he probably felt about tossing away this life that he has. And I think he did that really well. Dance with that, unattended, because you guys did dance later, but dance with that really, really well throughout.
Yeah. It's the exploration of like different ways to cope with your grief and pain, and how people have different ways of coping and how that can kind of clash sometimes.
The relationship between the son and the mom was so many like tiny aspects of it. It reminded me so much of my brother and my mom, and it was like so well established. It really was amazing.
The idea that you never know that things are going to be okay, so you can't let that hold you back.
So what questions are you left with? Yeah,
The title Upward and Over the Mountains, what does that mean to you as the playwright?
So, fun story behind the title. I stole it. So there's a song by a band called Iron and Wine called Upward and Over the Mountain. And there's a line in it that says, "Sons can be birds flying upward over the mountain." And so that was the other spark that kind of led to the process of writing this. But it's the idea of letting go and being taken upward, away, off into the great blue yonder.
What did the note at the end say?
The note at the end.
You have to ask Dylan that question. That's one of those things that I wrote in as a stage direction and then said, whoever is acting in this can grapple with that problem.
Yeah, so what happened to Benedict? Like, how's he doing?
He's vibing somewhere.
With regard to the note, since you said that it's open-ended to the actor who plays it, could that potentially change how the ending is conceptualized? Being a more negative or positive way? As in what happens to Dylan after we don't see them?
I guess it could. I don't Subjectively, I don't think that it should. But it could.
As the author, what is your interpretation of the intended?
You know, I know that Dylan left. I know that he took that job. But after that, probably. And I think that's part of the point to me, I think, is not knowing that.
Yeah, that's funny.
With respect to the ambiguity of it all, I was going to ask you, was it an intended stylized choice to not really explain exactly what this accident was, only until at a later point to kind of critically point out that it might have been attempted suicide?
Yeah, I definitely think, it was definitely a choice to kind of, there's little hints throughout, but they don't really explicitly say that until pretty much right at the halfway point. So yeah, build that tension a little bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jason. Now we're going to shift gears to our last play of the night, Feral. So Anna, you can introduce yourself and your piece.
My name is Anna Bowman. I'm a senior English writing and theater arts double major. I wrote this play first as a short story back in 2020, right when we had gotten sent home for COVID, and it all kind of stemmed from my all-girls Catholic school experience. I had a friend who was broken up with because this guy claimed he wanted to join the priesthood and then started dating someone else very quickly, and I thought it was hilarious, but I didn't tell her that. And also always wanted to write a play where a woman threw up in a baptismal font, which became a holy water font in the context of this play. And so when I started writing the short story, those were the two scenes that I really wanted to go with, and I loved it. But it didn't feel right in that form, and so when this project came to be, I finally decided to transform it into a one-woman play. And yeah, that's the story of how Feral came to be.
So what resonated with you?
Yeah, and feeling exposed in a church.
Just get this out of the way. The mania. So the way that you handled manic so well, so much so that we weren't fatigued by it, because then you would show this vulnerability peek in, and then you would have her just go skyrocket, and you'd have whiplash in the best way.
Yeah, I'm feeling physically pressured at my small letter into the Lord's.
What stuck out to me was the very contradictory nature of somebody who you believe to be the one, and then he or she turns your life upside down in quite often the worst way possible, and you start to rethink literally everything to the point where you're pretty much lost in your identity and have to recuperate that.
Yeah, Eric.
The contrast between her being wine drunk and church wine.
The vomit.
The constant use of the F word.
So what questions are you left with? Yeah.
Do you see her getting closure at the end, or is that just another piece of the making?
I don't know if closure is the right word for it. I think whatever is in Sarah's future, I don't know, but I think after this she's able to move on.
Yeah, well,
why brutal?
Why brutal?
Because I wrote this way before Miss Olivia Rodrigo came to me in our musical history. And when that album was released, I was working on either the second or third draft for this project for the New Play Festival. And I just remember thinking about the lyric, God, it's brutal out here. And it just fit so perfectly, because originally in the first rendition of the play, short story, whatever, she just vomited, and that was the end. You didn't really have anything to close it out with, and so I wanted something to take that energy and write it out as it ends, and I thought that that song felt perfect. And the fact that it says God and it also felt perfect. It just was meant to be in the piece, I think.
Yeah, Dennis.
So what was your mindset, and how does it help Sarah during that the shower scene? Like, how did you come about writing that and putting it into the play?
I started writing that, first of all, it's a very blip of a scene with really no emotional reveal. And then I wanted more and more vulnerability in the piece. And I started to think about where does she feel really safe if it's not with her community, since she doesn't have any really, or if it's not with her incoming friend, Paige, where does she feel safe? And it felt like maybe it was alone. And maybe the shower is where she can really start to unpack all of this, where you're both so vulnerable but so safe. That was kind of where it came to be. And that was also a stream of consciousness, writing all those questions. And I think I only ever cut one that didn't really fit, because I don't think it's about Dean at all. I think it's a lot about her.
Yeah, this last one, Grace, close it out.
Did you get any inspiration from Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
No, I watched that after.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so
Oh
I
my
wrote it as
gosh.
a short story, and then when I saw Fleabag, and then it was a play as well, I was like, I want to do that. This works. I know, I'm so in love with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but that's a separate conversation.
Okay, well, thank you, Anna, and thank all three. If you filled out your little feedback cards, please drop them in the treasure chest that Megan is displaying